Welcome back, agents, to this Tactical Explainer. Consider this your official boots-on-the-ground briefing for the upcoming Season 3 Red Horizon deployment. If you've been wondering exactly what the dev team has cooking for our next major operation, well, you are in the exact right place. Real quick before we deploy, I just want to take a second to acknowledge hitting our 279 subscriber milestone. We're building a seriously incredible community of focused learners here. So if you want to stay ahead of the meta and understand these updates before anyone else even logs in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps us out immensely. All right, let's look at your mission overview for today. We're going to run through the Rising Cleaner threat, break down the new global modifiers, check out the fresh arsenal, dig into some meta-shifting gear rebalances, go over the new Dark Zone protocols, and wrap up with the deployment timeline so you know exactly when to gear up. Kicking things off with Section 1. The Red Horizon threat, and the massive cleaner invasion hitting DC. Okay, intel is pointing to a huge escalation in Washington. As the season progresses, you're literally going to see the sky over the city turn red, as cleaner activity just aggressively ramps up across the open world. They're even taking over their own control points now. But the real wild card here, you need to be on high alert for Company 95. This is a newly confirmed elite kill squad that is going to make the streets incredibly volatile. You're definitely going to have to rethink your traversal strategies out there. Moving on to Section 2, let's talk about the new global field mechanics, specifically the Under Pressure Modifier. So the whole season is built around this new global modifier that runs on a literal pressure gauge. You build this gauge up by landing headshots, chaining multi-kills, and racking up skill kills. And as it fills, it unlocks some absolutely crucial stat bonuses, like enhanced status effects and some much-needed armor regen. But you know there's a catch, right? You have to stay in cover. The gauge decays naturally over time anyway, but if you get caught out of cover, it absolutely plummets. So it's going to be a high-stakes game of positioning. Now, what's super interesting is what happens when you hit specific thresholds on that gauge. You trigger these explosive active modifiers. First up is Fiery Aura, which basically turns you into a walking combustion engine that burns nearby enemies. Then, you've got Vicarious Combustion, letting you literally spread fire through headshots. And finally, Sign Shield Delivered, which gives some heavy buffs to your specialization weapons and shields. Managing that pressure gauge is going to be the absolute key to dominating engagements. Into Section 3, let's look at the new exotic arsenal, focusing heavily on fire and status effects. All right, let's break down your new tactical loadout. First, we have the Fafnir Exotic Shotgun. This is a Season Pass item that fires Dragon's Breath shells with a 10% burn chance, and it actually amplifies your weapon damage by a massive 30% of your status effect bonus. Next is the Iron Will Exotic Chess Piece. Its Resolve talent is wild. It turns your next body shot into a guaranteed headshot on a tiny 2-second cooldown. Just keep in mind, you can't pair that one with shotguns or Headhunter. And lastly, the Ember Engine gear set. This is a yellow core set built for skill efficiency, and its spontaneous combustion talent gives any status effect a 20% chance to just flat out apply burn. The synergy between Fafnir and Ember Engine is going to create some monstrous burn builds for sure. Beyond the exotics, keep your eyes peeled in the field for the Steamer and Teapot named weapons. These feature an incredibly unique, high-risk, high-reward talent. It completely strips away your critical hit chance for the first 25% of your magazine. Nothing. But if you sustain that suppressive fire past that point, it grants you a guaranteed plus 100% critical hit chance for the entire rest of the mag. Talk about a total game changer for trigger discipline. Over to Section 4, we've got some major PvE gear rebalancing that is absolutely going to shift the meta. The big takeaway here is the devs are aggressively trying to bring other gear closer to Striker's current power level. The old meta of slotting niche survivability stats, like swap speed and shock resistance, is basically out. They're swapping those for pure, aggressive power gains. For example, that long-awaited True Patriot buff is finally here, handing us a new 2-piece weapon handling bonus, a red debuff of up to 15% amplified damage, and a blue debuff up to 10%. We're also seeing heavy protection from elites replacing those niche stats. Like the 511 brand set's 1-piece bonus, that's transforming straight into a 10% protection from elite stat. Now, development intel confirms we are getting absolutely no new brand sets this season. The devs explicitly stated that the brand pool has hit what they call stat saturation. So because of that, you can expect all new build theory crafting and developmental focus to shift entirely toward named items from here on out. Oh, and snipers, listen up, because this is a big one. The Determined talent has officially been reworked to match its perfect version. What does that actually mean for your loadout? Well, the infinite headshot chain loop has officially been closed to balance out battlefield lethality. It's a huge shift that's definitely going to force sniper builds to adapt.
Section 5. Let's talk Dark Zone protocol updates, where PvP normalization is getting thrown out the window.
Things are about to get so much more intense out there. First up is the Blackout Dark Zone. This is a new environment with zero PvP normalization. That means your SHD levels and your expertise stay completely active. It's going to be a raw test of build power. Then there's the Toxic DZ. This is becoming a permanent fixture and includes all enemy factions, and the kicker is that just to cleanse your own toxicity, you are required to extract contaminated gear. Plus, PvP Skill Rebalance Phase 2 is launching right alongside the PTS.
Finally, Section 6, Logistics and Key Dates. Let's look at the deployment timeline. Now, if you are hoping to test the new prototype gear recalibration right at launch, you might need to adjust those expectations. It is officially delayed and will not make the Season 3 launch window. The devs are maintaining strict quality control here. They actually said they'd rather delay it than ship a half-baked version. Honestly, it's a slight setback, but it's way better for the overall health of the game in the long run.
So, how does this week look for you? Here are the exact deployment dates. Today, Tuesday, the Broken Rain Incursion and Climax mission are launching. Thursday, the full public test server patch notes will drop, so we'll finally get to pour over all the granular numbers. And culminating this Friday, the Season 3 PTS goes live for active testing. So, looking at everything we just unpacked, what are you most hyped for in Red Horizon? Are you eager to build around those wild new fire mechanics and the pressure gauge? Are you ready to dust off your gear for that massive True Patriot buff? Or are you just looking forward to the sheer environmental storytelling of the cleaners completely taking over the capital? Drop your tactical priorities in the comments below. Let me know exactly what you're most excited to test when this deploys. Stay focused out there, and I'll see you in the field.